When I tell you that we're back for a Champions League knockout round game today, what team do you think we could be playing? An Inter Milan again? Man City maybe? Real Madrid? No, Everton. Yeah, Everton in the Champions League round of 16. I mean, fair play to them for getting this far. We got knocked out at this stage last year. If we don't make it past this stage to the quarterfinals this year, it's an absolute disaster. Last year, Everton finished fourth from absolutely nowhere. And of course, just as a little reminder, our star man Celik was a man who jumped ship from Everton a few years ago, well, 2.5 years ago, for £95 million. I feel like this game's got a little bit of spice around it. So yes, we've got the Champions League knockout rounds today, and as well as that, we have got one game in the league. It's against Chelsea. Between the two matches, I hate to say it, Man City still not slipping up enough. They did recently lose, I believe, to Aston Villa 3-1, you can see here. However, we're still miles behind them. We have to beat Chelsea. We need to beat Everton. Today's matches are big. Let's run the intro and get into things. Yes, folks, how is it going? Welcome back to Park to Prem. Today is episode number 118. Today we are in the Champions League knockouts. Of course, last year we were knocked out in this round of 16. The year before that, Man City knocked us out in the quarter-final. I want to feel like we're making progress. We have to make it through and a little bit further this year. I want to win the whole thing, of course. Minimum aim, semi-final. Saying it now, that's what we need to achieve. Now, since last episode, only 2 games played. Of course, we ended things with the EFL Cup final. We lost against Arsenal 2-1. I was bitterly annoyed about it, but we did bounce back well. Firstly, with a 6-2 win against Bristol City, and then a 5-0 win in the league. I do feel a little bit bad for Bristol City. Newly promoted to the league, they're not having a good time in the Premier League. We absolutely dominated this game. Good to see Alexi getting 2 goals. He had a really slow start to his time at the club, and I was quite critical. Suddenly now he has 17 goal contributions in 26. It's actually a little bit impressive. But just to circle back to Bristol City, they got this miracle promotion to the Premier League. They did actually play in the Premier League a couple of years ago. They were relegated right away. Last year, they avoided the drop, I think, on the final day. This year, they are rock bottom. They have 9 points after 29 games. They've won 1 game all year. It's not great. Now, one thing that I have found very interesting this year is the fact that we've been able to rely on the entire squad. And given the fact that we have got to play 3 matches today in the space of about a week, it's probably pretty good news for us. Look at this, the number of double-figure goal scorers we have. We have 6 players with 13 or more goals, which is kind of mad. And then assist-wise, there's 6 players with a load of assists. I feel like this is both a good and a bad thing. Often in Football Manager, you maybe have 1 or 2 players you're really dependent on, and if they don't show up, you're in trouble. We don't tend to have that super standout performer, but what does happen is that often we don't have a single player who can grab a game by the scruff of their neck and win it for us. I'm certainly hoping that Celik could be that man, because I think he is the best player in our team, especially against his former club. It might be required today. Anyway, we are going to jump straight into the first of 3 matches. We've got a triple header. No dilly-dallying. Everton away to kick things off. We actually take them on 4 times in the next 2.5 weeks. Following on from the 2 Champions League games, we have them in the FA Cup quarter-final and the league. I'm going to be sick of Everton by the end of the month, but hopefully the players are not going to be sick of playing them today. If Fonny have just given him a new contract offer, hopefully he's going to sign that. It's going to make him happier and maybe just help with his performances. I do feel like morale in goalkeepers feels kind of critical. Fonny's not been playing well lately. Elsewhere, I did consider dropping Roger Rojas, but I've decided, having had a stern talking with him, I am going to give him another chance here. It does mean the likes of Neto, Vasquez and Faye, who have plenty of goals between them, find themselves on the bench. Speaking of which, I've just realised we can have more players on the bench. Of course, 12 players in Europe. We'll stick on some of the young players. In terms of first-team players missing, Bolton, the only real player of note. He's still coming back from his injury last episode. Besides that, everyone's fit. Everyone's on the pitch. We should be winning this comfortably. Away from home first leg, this game could be critical. Okay, the Champions League graphics are out. Everton are playing a 4-3-3. Everton were surprisingly overperforming, I think, last year when they finished 4th. A lot of other Premier League teams were kind of slipping up. I kind of wish Man City would do the same in the league this year, but they've not been doing that. Everton this year, very much a mid-table team. On paper, we have the better team. On paper, we were the best team in the Champions League stage, topping the 36 team stage. Is it 36 teams in that stage? I can't remember. I hate the big league format in the Champions League. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion. Anyway, now that I've had an opportunity to crap on that, let's focus on the game. Please, lads, give me a good performance. Give me a good highlight early on. That would be nice. Okay, I'll be back when something happens. Bailey Salmon, he's going to make something happen. Bailey Salmon, Bailey Salmon. Yeah, that's right. I do think of chants for my players whilst I'm in the shower. I'll admit it. The Bailey Salmon chant might need some work, but it's salmon, shark. They're on the attack. Maybe I need a shark in defence. They've scored. You know what? I probably deserve that, don't I, for that chant? The referee is going to check this here. Is it going to count? I feel like it's going to count. Okay, it's not going to... That's a relief. I'm going to shout demand more. I'm never singing that chant ever again. Bailey Salmon looked like a fish out of water, didn't he, running back there? He's not a particularly quick player. Did get a little exposed. I mean, we have to remind ourselves, we've got two legs here, and home and away advantages are a big thing in Football Manager. I don't know if you guys can remember, but during kind of the pandemic era, we had all the streamer showdown, kind of streamer competition tournament things that we did. We got loads of really interesting data from player versus player games on home and away advantage, and loads of other stuff. In Football Manager, it was shocking how big the home and away advantage was, and I think especially across two legs, it does play an even bigger role. So if we could even get a slight win here, I'd be pretty happy with it. Celik cutting inside, pulling the trigger against his former club. He does that, and now he goes off to celebrate in front of our fans. Imagine if this happened in real life. Imagine the riots in the city of Liverpool. I mean, this was lovely. Celik does this often, doesn't he? Not the first time this year. He's picked up the ball outside the box, gone on a little bit of a waddle, and then just pinged it in off the post. I mean, what a goal that is. Free kick, Celik. I mean, imagine if he scores another. I want to dream. I want to believe it could happen. The number 11 stepping up. Waiting a while for this. It better be worth the wait, Football Manager. The Englishman, ready to pull the trigger. Whenever you're ready, Aaron. He's going to take it now. Okay, well, I hope that's not the highlight, because whatever I've just watched there has annoyed me. Roger makes something happen, drills it in. It's half cleared away. Alex Diop in the box, shoots in off the post. It's 2-0 after 21 minutes. And after that early scare and disallowed goal, we've put ourselves in a really good position here. Alex to Diop. I know that people like to refer to Diop as deflop. Look, I'll be honest, he's not been the world beater we thought he could be. But that doesn't mean he's not chipped in with goals. It doesn't mean he's not scored. That might be the most important one he's scored in Rugby Town colours so far. 2 shots on target, 2 goals. Yeah, you know what? There's times to turn up and be clinical in matches. The Champions League knockouts are that. Last year when we got knocked out by Inter, you might remember, we lost the first leg 3-1 and then we drew, I think, the second leg as well. And we just couldn't find a way through. This is a very different way things are playing out right now, as we're rapidly approaching half-time already. 2 goals up, away from home. I have to give the players some praise, don't I? What a 45 minutes that was. Look at the green, happy, smiley faces. They all bloody love it. 10 minutes into the second half, it's not been a super end-to-end game, this one. There's been lots of play bogged down in the midfield, but we've taken the chances when we've created them, and I'm hoping we might be able to craft out another here. Bailey Salmon, wide to Alex. 1 assist already to his name, the right back. He drills it in, and Celik, but for a block on his shot there, could have scored to make it 3. We do still have a corner, to be fair to us. It's going to be the short corner routine. Really, I should have someone come short at all occasions, shouldn't I? So we don't reveal what set piece we're doing. But I don't think Football Manager players are actually that intelligent to be able to read the routines. You'd think, given the fact we've had the same routines, the 3 of them, for like the last 10 years, someone would have figured them out by now. But apparently not in this universe, as, well, we might have a chance here. I took a risk, didn't I, keeping Rojas in the team? That's why I've kept him in the team. That is another stupendous finish. At times this year, the big guns have been guilty of not turning up when it mattered. I'll tell you what, they have turned up and then some there. Roger Rojas on his weaker left foot with that. 3 goals up, are making subs. I'm going to bring in Talarski at defensive midfielder. I've been trying to give Talarski more and more minutes because I think he needs them. And to be honest, I think he's good enough to step in a situation like this. Lehman's not the best of games, so we're going to bring in NDIA. Huari off for Snedden as well. When you look at the attacking third, I don't really want to touch anything there. It's been really, really great for us. I will bring in Marky Anderson, I think, at roaming playmaker. I feel like Mark Anderson is someone who features a lot in games as a starter that you guys don't see. He has started 19 games this year, made 19 sub appearances. Maybe he can just inject a little bit of creative flair into this game. Not that we necessarily need more of it with half an hour left, but you know what, a goal or 2 more? That would be good. You might have also noticed I've not taken off the players in the attacking third there. You know, under some circumstances, I'd take off all the good players, attacker-wise, who I need to rely on. But with the depth that we've got, I don't feel like we're dependent on anyone, and, you know, I need to wrap anyone up in bubble wrap, perhaps to the degree I have in previous years. And in a game like this, where they are all just playing so well, I want to keep our pedal to the metal. I want to keep pushing forward, causing Everton issues. lose. We've done that throughout this game. There's 8 minutes left. A clean sheet is... I was going to say it's essential. No, it'd be a bonus at this point, but if we could just maintain the 3-goal gap, that'd be nice. If we could make it 4, that would be sensational. The ball's whipped in, Celik wins his header, and that, sadly for us, wrong side of the crossbar. Okay, 4 minutes of added time at the end of this game. It's been a commanding performance, been a clinical performance. We've done what we needed to do here, and we did not do that last year in this match in the Champions League. You might remember the exact same situation as this, away from home in the round of 16. We went to Milan, we came back 3-1 down. This time, 3-0 up. That puts us in a really, really good position. Elsewhere, AC Milan took a lead in their game. Atleti and Bayern also winning their opening legs. Obviously, still a lot of football to be played. Speaking of which, Alex playing some very good football right now. 2 assists in that game, 9.3 rating for the right-back, who's been absolutely sensational. And in terms of, well, what we've got up next, don't you fret, more football coming. We have Chelsea in 3 days' time. It's 2nd versus 4th. I think I'm going to take a bit of a gamble and play a full-strength team here, even if it means rotating things a little bit for the second leg. Given what we've just seen, obviously at this point we need Man City to slip up. This is the kind of game against Chelsea where if we lose, I just say we're giving up on the Premier League, all in on the Champions League. I don't want to give up just yet. There's still 10 games left. Let's try and make a result happen. Okay, folks, game number 2 today, Chelsea. Weekend Premier League fixture, Man City taking on West Brom. I don't want to get too ahead of myself here. Don't think they're going to drop points, so the pressure is very much on us to get the result here. In terms of team news, nice and simple, it is the exact same team that played in the Champions League in terms of the starting 11 and the first 9 players on the bench. Full strength, still Bolton coming back from injury, but we are in pole position, I hope, to get a result here. Naturally, without resting our players before the upcoming game, there's maybe a risk of some injuries in this game here, but ultimately, we've really got to just try and take this game to Chelsea Football Club, who, well, I imagine are going to be trying to make stuff happen themselves. They are very much in the battle for 4th. Ifoni, what are you doing? What's happening? Get the ball away, lads. That was a weird sequence of events. I'm calm, Celik. Surely we don't just go up the other end and score. Alex, make it happen. We've got so many players forward. He goes down an ape, tippling Alex over. That was a very nasty little kick to the back. The set piece, though, is another highlight, potentially from one end to the other. Celik, he really needs to practice his free kicks, doesn't he, based on what we've seen so far today. Okay, corner for us here. Lehman whipping it towards the back post. Slanina in goal, plucks it out the air. The American international confidently dealing with the play. First 15 minutes haven't exactly been a classic here. Not a whole flurry of chances. Chelsea with perhaps the best of the bunch, with the weird back pass to Ifoni, followed by the woodwork being shook, albeit from an acute angle. Now, however, I was about to say, we're looking to make something happen. What we've done in terms of making stuff happen is give away the ball. Ruiz is bringing it forward. Lehman, though, wins it back nicely. I feel like Lehman doesn't get the praise he deserves at left back. You know, I'm very much on that Alex hype train at right back, as Celik gives us one of the worst passes of the year. Lehman just, I don't know, he doesn't get his praise. He's a bit of an unsung hero. Celik gives a foul. VAR, are they thinking this is in the box? Are they thinking, I mean, this is not in the box, is it? Like, he's not even falling in the box. This cannot be a penalty. Peter Hanks is talking to the video ref. I mean, I could have... Why are we doing this? Why are we doing... If they score this free kick now, I'm going to be fuming. Van Ginkel, back post. Headed away by Donald. Oh, I'll tell you what. Needless stress. The was it in or out the box penalty decision there. We still got to deal with it here. Misiak not getting away. It's like we're playing volleyball inside our own penalty area. I'm not enjoying this. So far, Chelsea, as the away team, I was hoping wouldn't show much fight. They are looking up for this game. And we are looking second best in a lot of areas. Right, Lehman, let's get back on track, please. Diop tries to play it inside. Not a good pass. There's been a few wayward passes in this game, but we have got the ball back. Alex to the byline. Shoots. I feel like Lehman would have scored that on the other side. We are pressing Chelsea really high up the pitch, but you can see here they are having more of the ball, and they are the team having the shots on target so far. We have whistled through this first half rather quickly. Elsewhere, Erling Haaland scored to put Man City up against West Brom. I think we have to accept at this point, they're not going to lose there. They're not going to be dropping points. This game, though, really has to be our full focus. As much as I want to worry about what Man City are doing, all we can really do is win our remaining 11 games and hope that that's enough. That is what we need to do. It's what we are not doing yet here, although perhaps a chance to change our fortunes. Diop, Misiak, bringing it forward through the middle, goes down in a heap. No foul given. It didn't really look like a foul, to be fair. And now Chelsea looking to bring the ball for themselves. Van Ginkel, tackle failed there by Huari. Van Ginkel shoots just wide. I'm not enjoying this game. 1 minute left to the half. Lehman whipping in a corner. Bailey Salmon's there. It's cleared away. Donald's shot is blocked. It was a golden opportunity to steal away a lead at the break. Sadly, it hasn't happened from the first corner. There's 20 seconds left. There's going to be time for another one here. Lehman, can we put a better ball in? We can't. It's headed up in the air, but Salmon is under it. The Don shoots, and it's blocked wide. A little bit of late pressure to end the half. This is what we need. We want to get Chelsea on the back foot. Chelik, this time to put the ball on the near side. Whipping it back post. It's towards Salmon again. Cleared away, and at the break, it is going to be 0-0. With that late flurry of chances, we edged out the XG battle, but fundamentally, neither teams look particularly good in this game. Gonna tell the players I'm far from pleased. I think I'm going to make some subs here. Chelik's on a booking. I don't love it, but I think I've just got to keep him on. I am going to bring in Vasquez, and I'm also going to bring in Sam Fay. I feel like Rojas and Diop I want to save for the game against Everton. Elsewhere, you know what? This might be controversial. I was going to bring in Neto. I'm going to bring in Mark Anderson, I think, at roaming playmaker. There's a real temptation to take off Chelik as well here. It's easy to forget that players like Neto, who are on the bench, are still considered world-class players by my staff. Like, still very, very good players just chilling on the bench. I don't want to go down a man. I'm making 4 subs at the break. Part of that is just because I'm not happy with how we've performed in that first half. The other aspect is I am just thinking about the Champions League game. Yeah, I know we're 3-0 up and maybe I don't need to worry about it, but based on the last few years, it has to take my utmost attention. And on top of that, to be honest, in that first half, we were not good enough anyway. It's 0-0. There's a chance still to turn around this game with our subs, and we might have a chance here. Vasquez timed his run to perfection. That little give and go there was really nice between him and Sam Fay. The shot at the end of it skewed wide, but let's look at it as a positive to start the half. Ordinarily, we hit this hour mark in the game, and I'm thinking about making some subs, but with only 1 sub left in our back pocket, that timer is going to come and go. There's been not many chances in this game as it's progressed, but maybe one here. Anderson on off the bench to take the set piece, to float it. Donald flicks it on. Salmon is there. He heads it against the woodwork. The flag's raised. I'll be honest, Bailey Salmon looked about a mile offside. Referee's going to get the VAR check. Is it going to be allowed? No. Yeah, I'll be honest. As soon as Donald flicked this on, it just looked like Bailey Salmon was a mile offside, didn't it? Okay, it wasn't actually as bad as I thought it was. Still not great. 17 minutes left of this game. We're on the front foot to end things, which I suppose is good. Maybe we're starting to tire Chelsea out. Anderson back to Huari, the centre-back, who's been a bit quiet in this game today. Gives it to Bailey Salmon. 0-0. Not a good result for us. We need to win this game. Anderson bringing it forward. Alex, could he turn hero yet again? Gives it back to Anderson. He's tackled, but the ball's floated towards the Don, who heads it goalwards. It's saved by the keeper, and then it's bundled into the back of the net by who else but Sam Bloody Fay. Our hero, our knight in shining armour. He came from over the northern border. He's landed himself in England. And I'll tell you what, he's landed himself in the right place at the right time there. The Don nods it down. Slanina gets a good hand on it. To be fair, I think there was 3 players who could have tucked in that ball for us. The net was at their mercy. And it's going to count. Apparently it was a tight offside. Was it a tight offside? No, it wasn't. Still 15 minutes left here, so despite the fact we've got our noses ahead, I'm not going to get too complacent yet. Not that there's really much means by which to get complacent. I've already used all but 1 sub. But another goal here would just, it'd alleviate the nerves to end this game. The Don bringing it forward. The Frenchman does that. Okay, well, Lehman gets an assist. I'll give him some praise, but let's talk about that finish. Yeah, that was good, wasn't it? 2 goals in 2 minutes, this game's done. The Don did not have a first 10 games at the club, but in this second half of this season, he is definitely stepping up. That was a thunderous finish that keeper couldn't contain. And well, suddenly, 10 minutes left, it just feels like job done now. Chelsea had a good first half. This second half, they have done much, much less. I feel like the subs that we made in the final third have really, worked out in our favour. We've looked exceptional in this game. With 8 minutes left, of course, 1 goal for Chelsea would suddenly commence squeaky bum time, but instead it's Lehman winning it well. They don't clear it away. It falls to Sam Fay. Somehow, again, Vasquez is given an assist. That looked like a very lucky goal, didn't it? There was a very weird pinball sequence in the penalty area here as Lehman played it in and it was cleared against their own player's head. In the end, Sam Fay's in the right place at the right time again. 3-0, that is game over now. Thought it was game over. I mean, look, we might get an extra life here because we're 3-0 up. We want 4. Anderson, the Don, turns his man, could pull the trigger. It's blocked. It's still with Lee Min, who's going to drill it into the box. Cleared away as far as Donald. Lee Min still in a wide area, still with players to aim for. I don't know why he shot from there, but I absolutely love it. It is raining. It's pouring. Chelsea are boring. They're bringing the ball forward here. Look, Chelsea, the game's over. There's no point in attacking here. Let us get a 4th goal or let's just go home. I mean, look at this match momentum. Look at that second half. We have been so good here. 3-0, deserve that win. The subs worked absolute wonders. And I guess that is just a testament to how good our strength in depth is. Wasn't keeping a close eye on the Man City game, but it doesn't matter, does it? They've beat West Brom 4-0. I mean, if you want to find a positive, we are 7 points ahead of Manchester United, who have played 2 more games than us. So that's good, I guess. That game there is one of those ones where you look at the scoreline and go, well, I guess that was a formality. They won 3-0. It was not as much of a formality as I would like heading into the next game. But the good news is, Fonny's about to sign his new deal, and well, we've got Everton in 3 days' time. We've avoided injuries this episode so far. I've probably jinxed it now. Okay, folks, game number 3 today, Everton Champions League. Should be straightforward. Yeah, it should be straight. There's not much more to add, is there? Now, when it does come to the team for this game, I am going to just rotate things a little bit. There's a few players like Alexi, who played all 90 minutes last game, who I'm going to give a rest to. Sam Fay can come in there. Elsewhere, I kind of want to give the likes of Neto more football. You know, based on what we saw last game, I almost feel like just rotating the entire team. Is this a terrible idea? Like, this team here with kind of a similar attacking setup just demolished Chelsea 3-0 in the second half. Like, I don't feel like this is kind of complacency slipping in, you know, bringing in the likes of Sneddon and NDIA. I think like it's just good squad management at this point. Of course, if we now go on to lose this, terrible squad management, but that shouldn't happen, I hope. Okay, into this second leg, we are the home team, 3 goals up. We've rotated things a little bit, but actually, when you look at the quality of the players that we're bringing in here, should be more than capable of dispatching of this Everton team. They've been very, very average so far. An early goal, I assume, would settle the nerves for the players as Donald goes for an overhead kick. Should we watch that again? I want to watch it again. Did anyone else have a Donald overhead kick on their bingo card? I mean, it nearly went in too. Corner for Everton. Not what I want to see at this early stage, and not what I want to see there. They rock the post. I suppose that's better than the ball nestling in the back of the net. We're now going to attempt to launch the counter-attack, but to be honest, we need to just be relieved that hasn't gone the other side of the post. That could have changed the complexion of this game fairly significantly, and now, well, we find ourselves back with the ball. Anderson wide to Alex. Lovely build-up play here. Falls to Neto. Take that out the back of the Neto. It's 4-0. And now we can relax. This was really nice build-up play from the left-hand side over to the right. This pass here, I think it was by Anderson, was really nicely weighted. Pulled out the defender. I don't know if Vasquez intentionally dubbied that, but it fell to Neto. He's tucked it away. And now I feel justified in my decision to rotate the attacking players. I say all of that not knowing if they are now just going to return with even more goals. I mean, we could be on the attack again here. We could be looking for goal number 5. NDIA to Huari. He is going to go all the way back to a Fonny in goal. Dexter Sneddon now stepping out with the ball. Anderson, Vasquez, lovely build-up play. And much like the chance he missed last game, he just pulled it wide of the post on his right foot. We are rapidly approaching the end of this first half. Since that miss by Vasquez, we've had no more highlights in this game, but I suppose at 4 goals up, we don't really need to have shots at this point. We just need to make sure we don't concede. I'm going to tell the players we're happy. Things could change. Don't get complacent. But I am now thinking, you know, maybe I should just take off Donald in this game. Talarski can come on. Huari, I could give a little bit of a rest to, although it'd mean just bringing in someone like Lee Min, which I suppose is less than ideal. Bolton's coming back to fitness. You know what? We'll give him 45 minutes here. He's from Liverpool, playing against Everton. Surely the right-back's going to want to have a good game. Surely he's going to want to see some magic happen as, well, I was hoping for a moment we were going to produce a magical moment and an all-important 5th goal. Instead, it could be Everton looking to catch us out. Bolton, of course, not quite up to full speed at right-back, and it's actually in behind his position. They are going to work the ball forward. One shot was blocked. It fell back to Pogiso. I'm not going to try and say that last name. That's a mental... It fell to Pogo. That's what his nickname is now. Pogo with the ball, and Pogo with a goal. Maybe a little bit of a lifeline for Everton, but it is still 4-1. Here is Pogiso Adrianta Silvina? Adrianta Silvina. Rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Also, why he's playing as a Mazzala for Everton, I do not know. Well, they scored and we're immediately into another highlight. If they were to go up the other end and get another, suddenly I maybe start to panic. Even with our good position that we're in, there would be nerves jangling all of a sudden, wouldn't there? Williams on the far side is going to dink it inside. We get it away half-heartedly. Ford gives it to Patterson, though, who's now going to wander into the wide area. And with players queuing up in the middle, he's going to whip it towards the back stick. Williams heads it in. And that was nearly another goal for Everton. I do not like what I've seen. I'm going to shout demand more. We've still got a corner to deal with here. This really has been less than ideal. Fortunately for us, that header's going to go over. Everton had a little bit of a resurgence either side of half-time, but to be honest, since that last chance they had, they are struggling, and well now, they're more than struggling, they are drowning, they are falling under the water without a trace. It's 5-1, 2-1, game over. 3 minutes of added time at the end of this game, it's 5-1 on aggregate. We're not going to bottle it from here, we are going to be making it to the Champions League quarter-final. It's the stage of the competition we made it to 2 years ago when we were knocked out by Man City, you might remember. Hoping this time we are going to be able to go a step further. Nice to be able to rotate the team in this game, give, a rest to some players as well, especially with the fixture schedule piling up. And of course, we're going to have 2 further games to look forward to in the Champions League. Vasquez is through again. Vasquez could have added another for the game. And that Vasquez chance was the final one of the game. It finishes here 2-1 on the night. Not a great result, not a convincing performance, to be honest, but it didn't really need to be. We were able to rest up some of the big guns. We did what needed to be done. We won the game on the night as well. Let's not make any mistake. And it does mean Champions League quarterfinals await for us. And well, I just want to avoid Man City. If someone else could knock out Man City, that would be nice. Who we're going to play in the next round, I think we find out maybe tomorrow, if I hit continue. Is the cup draw going to appear? That's what I'm wondering. I'm just mashing continue as we have Everton up next. Not doing that in today's game. I've got Everton in the FA Cup and the league in the next week. I'm sick of Everton by now. Is there to be a draw? When is the Champions League draw? When is it? Apparently the semi-final draw's on the 20th. Why is it not happening now? Yeah, okay. It's going to be drawn in a week. You know what? I was just going to mash continue forever. Instead, we'll leave it as a mystery for next time. Who will we take on in the Champions League quarter-final? You can see here the teams that made it through. Bayern Munich, AC Milan, Dortmund, Man City, Atleti, Real Madrid, Barcelona. Don't feel like there's any easy games in there, is there? With Man City just not slipping up, all focus on the Champions League. Next week, we kick things off with the Champions League quarter-final. Hopefully, we're going to go a step further than we've ever been before, and then maybe make it to the final and beyond. That's what I'm hoping for. I'll see you next time to find out if we can make it one step further. If you've enjoyed the video, leave a like. Have a lovely weekend. I'll see you on Monday for more. I'm out.